Unconscious bias has become a well-known term, and there's been quite a lot of training around unconscious bias throughout Vodafone, probably over the last 2 years. What we noticed was that it was quite theoretical, so it helped to plant an understanding that bias exists, but I don't think people were fully able to connect it with real-life situations.
Ravin, could you take a look at this before we meet?
So we were looking for a way to help really connect the idea of bias to everyday moments that people experience at Vodafone. And we thought the best way to do that was first to understand, well, where do we think bias really exists? So really identify where we think decisions might be occurring because of bias.
Sorry, Sandra, it's the Maya issue.
Issue? She's having a baby, she's not causing international conflict.
And then as we thought about those, we thought, well, what's the easiest way to bring it to life? And it felt like drama was the best way to really play out those moments.
Diane, your meeting notes are always done so brilliantly, you don't mind, do you?
When people watch that, then for them to be able to reflect and say, actually, that really does happen. Given the scale of Vodafone's business, we weren't able to do it in a live format. So recording videos of key moments and then enabling us to have that trained across all of our markets and throughout the world is probably the most effective way for us to roll this out. So we started out with this idea of saying, we think there are some key moments where bias is creeping in and we need to understand what those moments are. So we worked with Schneider Ross to interview people across the business who are really in moments where they've identified to us that bias is happening.
I like him. Very confident. I mean, even if he's not 100% there, he'd be a great choice.
It was essentially about first identifying what were the key areas, then really sort of honing in on what were the key messages that we wanted to pull out. So if that bias happens, so what? What does that mean for us, and what would we like people to do differently?
We've got this new intern joining.
Always good to have the extra pair of hands.
Well, normally, yes.
We worked through to develop those scenarios with Schneider Ross, and then worked really closely with Steps to really have those played out in drama format.
Well, apparently he's deaf.
What's been great is that we've had a lot of input into developing the scenarios. We now see them reflected and they feel very Vodafone, yet Schneider Ross and Steps have obviously developed them and played them out in drama format. But it's been an extremely collaborative partnership, lots of creativity and ideas, and going above and beyond, I think, our expectations in terms of support.
Which one's your brother?
This one. Right here, right.
You wouldn't think he was gay, would you? Doesn't look it.
We've already started to see some really great feedback from this format. So it's very engaging. We've seen in the few sessions that we've run already that people really do associate with characters. They laugh, you can see them feel a bit uncomfortable, but the discussion is what's been the most impressive afterwards. So actually people are really getting to the kind of conversation that we hoped they would, but you can never guarantee. We've seen some great outcomes and discussion. The reality is, of course, we would need to see that move to action, but we hope that this will really prompt that.